What is up, guys? Welcome back for another video. Today we're talking finance, but specifically the stock market. We have a special guest, Izhan, on. He was 21 years old, and started trading 3 years ago, and was able to grow his account from $5,000 to over six figures. And he has generously agreed to come on today and talk to us about it. So, Izhan, thank you for coming on today, brother.
Anytime, Zay. Thank you so much, bro.
Absolutely. So, you started 3 years ago. I'm just interested, what got you started in the stock market? Like, how did that begin?
All right. So to be honest, I come from a very middle class family, first of all, and then secondly, I'm an immigrant. So I moved to US back in 2015, and when I moved there, I was just going to high school, doing my thing, went to college, and when I was going to college, I was always into things that could make me money, whether it was buying and selling phones, whether it was buying a cheap car and flipping that, or whatever could just make me money. So back in that time, what was actually booming was cryptocurrency. Crypto was on its peak, and crypto was actually taking its turn way back up when Bitcoin, Ripple, all these coins were actually taking a nice pump up. So at that time, I got introduced to some people, and they were like, "Why don't you actually start trading for real?" And I was like, "Okay, so how do I get started?" So a lot of my friends, my mentors, they helped me out with it, and I actually got myself started after taking their courses, learning from them, and actually building up the basics and bringing it to the point where I could execute myself and I could take decisions. So the learning part was mostly obviously the hardest part, and it seems too easy in the moment when you're actually getting started, but it seems like, oh, you're going to be the next big shot. But when you actually get yourself into it, you realize the sea only gets deeper and deeper. It never gets narrowed down where you're like, okay, I have it figured out. It's always the broad picture where you never have it figured out. So that was the basic start of my time, where I just got myself started because of the boom in the crypto at that time, and I had a little bit of money back in Bitcoin back in the days, which actually made me a lot of money. And that money, I took it and I invested most part in myself. The first thing I did is I had mentors. I signed up for their courses. I even flew to different states on weekends. One of my mentors is Omar Ashraf. I flew to to New York four times in a month just to take his class out of North Carolina. I used to fly out of North Carolina every Sunday. I used to go to New York, and I used to be back every Monday back in North Carolina for 4 weekends. So I mean, like I have seen more tougher times than people have are seeing right now, because now trading is so basically just given to everybody and so user friendly that everyone just thinks it's probably the most easiest thing you could ever do in your life, which is actually not the case. It's just that now a lot more people are getting themselves diversified into it that they do want to do it. Back then, it used to be different. At least 3 years ago, it wasn't the same way it is.
Wow. So I know a lot of people, when they think of the stock market, they're just thinking about, buying a stock, holding it, it goes up, may hold it for a few years and then sell it, collect profit. What other ways is money made in the stock market?
All right. So realistically, it's like I said, it's always about, hey, I'm going to buy something low, I'm going to sell something high. But a lot of people don't understand, which is a lot of people actually ask us. They say, hey, market is pushing down and market is selling off. What are you guys going to do? Look, there's two ways to make a market. There's a way, which is traditional way, which is you buy low and sell high, which is called long trading. But there's also a way of trading on the short side, which is short trading, where you can actually short sell a stock and cover it at the lower price and actually make money while it's pushing lower. So market gives you a 50-50 ratio on each trade. Each trade you make a decision, it's either going to go up or down. Now, as you get more advanced, there's a lot more complications that come with it, whether you're going towards futures trading, options trading. In some situations, stock can go up, your profit won't move. In some situations, stock can go down, you won't make money, or in some situations, stock can stay flat and you will still make the money. But the idea is it's not just always about buying and selling for the higher price. It's about actually understanding there's both ways to make money. I'll give you a quick example. Think of it this way, right? Everyone knows, let's just say I bought this cup of Starbucks for $5 and there's a huge line outside of Starbucks, right? And someone who was trying to get the same drink doesn't want to be in the line, and he's like, can I have it? And I'm like, okay, I'll sell it to you for $8. I made $3 off of it. Just the idea of supply and demand. But now reverse the psychology. Let's just say you have an iPhone. I took it from you and I said, hey, I will give it back to you in 7 days. Can I borrow it from you? and you're perfectly fine since it's a spare change for you and you're not using it.
Mhm.
I took your thing and I walked away from it for 7 days. There, in trading, there's not a particular time limit until the broker are asked for it, but we're just taking an example. So let's say in those 7 days, I sold it to another person in the open market for $500. While I know I can get the same thing again for $300. Now I sold it for 500. I went back in the market, bought it for $300, and I gave it back to you. You weren't concerned about how much it values. You're concerned about getting the same product back. And that's the whole idea when it comes to short trading. It's much easier concept. It's just about understanding that you have both ways in the market. You can't, obviously you have a 50% chance of going wrong every time, but that is where risk management, that is where understanding technical analysis, understanding fundamental analysis, understanding how good you are as a trader and how you can execute, and everything comes into the perspective.
Wow. So what are some qualities of a good trader? I know a lot of people they get excited, jump into the stock market. Like right now, we have a bunch of but a lot of people are entering the stock market through platforms like Robinhood and Webull, and kind of just throwing money in any direction. Where are they going wrong? Like what defines a good trader? A good trader.
So in the past 1 year, I will say exactly the same time in March. So this is March 16th, and same time back in March, I was sitting on my desk, I was scratching my head, and I was thinking, what is happening in the world? Because we had seen many circuit breakers. If everyone on this video is going to come off of a trading industry, they know what circuit breakers are. They know when SPY gets halted, S&P 500, how tough it is for the traders to actually execute, and especially coming out of an options trader perspective. Now, I will tell you how people's psychology at this moment is working. They saw some people getting lucky, and they saw some people, which is HODL, just hold the line. You buy it and you hold it, doing some people that. And now it's just a trend that they're following. If people are coming off of the volatility of GME and AMC back in January or last week, even at this point, that's really not considered to me. That's not considered trading. Like, I'm happy for you if you have made money. I'm going to tell you to take all those funds out. And I would say put it in a secured fund, which should be real estate. Go buy physical gold, go buy physical silver, something that's actually physical rather than keeping the money in your computers. As a trader, I always say this, as a trader, you never get to see cash. When I say cash, you will never be able to put $100 bills on your desk. Like, you will never be able to do that. The reason behind that is you're so attached to the idea of having wired money and numbers in your screens that you're going to keep up with just that idea. Same idea goes to the people who are just getting started. Just because they have seen people in past getting lucky or either just like catching the volatility in one direction, they're trying to do the same thing over and over and over and over again, which, to be honest, is really not considered trading. I would it's a way of understanding that either I'm willing to lose everything, or basically I was just sitting in Vegas and I threw a
Just
43 on roulette
gambling.
and then come back.
Basically just gambling.
I would say yes.
So I seen like last year was very interesting in the stock market. Obviously, around this time, beginning of the year, the market was basically considered more of a bear market. I would say a lot of sell-offs. But later in the year, a lot of stocks started shooting up. Obviously, I think what over the year, Zoom was up over 400%, maybe even more into the year. So a lot of like last year, even though the overall economy had a lot of uncertainty, the stock market on the other hand kind of seemed like it went the opposite direction. A lot of people made a lot of money. And so now I know a lot of people are, they've seen what happened. They want to get started this year. Where do you see the market trending this year?
So, like I said, when I got started into trading was much more different. We used to be in there for the most part with much lesser news than we are in right now. In the last 1 year, we have printed a lot of money. Feds has came out with a lot of money. Feds has decreased all the interest rates down to 0%. We're basically in negative rates. We're printing dollars every quarter almost now. And at the same time, the inflation rates aren't increasing on the dollar index. So it doesn't really make sense if you add everything together, because it's too choppy. Like, the way to say it is, it's just too choppy out there. Personally, there's no way to predict where market is going to go. And if anyone comes and claims down, if JP Morgan says we're predicting 4,500 on S&P 500 by the end of next quarter, that's JP Morgan. They have multiple analysts sitting down and doing their analysis and actually coming down with that number. But they're not God, and they're not the one who run the market. So there's no real way to predict it. One idea to understand and one thing to keep in mind is always market always goes up. There's going to be corrections, there's going to be sell-offs, but with the more money getting generated in the world and more people getting interested into the idea of it is always going to stay uptrend for the most part. Now, there's something called correctional period, 13% above below the highs. So if the market takes a 13% hit from the highs, we call it correctional period. About at 20, we call it bear market. If you go to any chart like S&P 500, Nasdaq futures or QQQs, which tracks basically the tech stocks, you will see in the past 1 month Qs have basically just not performed the best way. They have pulled back and they tried their best to actually have their correction. Now, today on March 16th, we're actually pulling back up and we're recovering a little bit on every tech name. So, this is a phase and period every market goes through. Like last year, we saw the fastest sell off and we saw the fastest recovery. This year, since the year has started, we have seen choppiness. We're not seeing a solid uptrend. Now, that doesn't really mean that every stock is going to push lower, every stock is going to push higher. Like you said, Zoom up about 400% last year, right? Look at Tesla. Even after the split, the stock is holding right at 700 today. So the idea behind even that is every stock has its own psychology. And in COVID time, we had this Zoom, Peloton, the online platforms, which were booming because the world really thought this is the new tomorrow and this is how we're going to live on forward tomorrow, which could be right for the most part. But I still think if a company took 30 years to build themselves and now they have a valuation of XYZ numbers, it can't just get broken down into pieces. Like cruises, they're going to go back to normal one day. Airlines, they're going to be normal one day. So things that had actually took a big hit, everything is going to go back to normal, just a matter of time because we're still under the crisis. We're still printing dollars. We're still talking about Feds every other week, and we're still sitting there just thinking how all of this is going to get recovered.
Wow. Okay, that was now I think that was good insight for a lot of people just getting started into the industry. So I do want to say this from this perspective. Say right now I'm a brand new trader, and I'm hearing this conversation right now, and I want to get started. I have a certain amount of money put away that I'm willing to lose. How much? Well, I'll ask this first. How much money do you think is a good amount to get started with? Obviously, you can enter the stock market at any amount, but would you
That's
say?
a very good question. That's one question I love hearing from anybody. And that's the answer to that question is start with what you're comfortably you can lose. Just start with a number you can comfortably lose. Okay. Now, for the most part, no one really wants to lose even what they start with. So brand new traders, it's all about the percentage game. If you think about it realistically, hey, I have $1,000 account and I focus on making 10% a week of my account size. Okay. Which basically means I have to make $100, which is 10% of my account. On a month, I make about $400. If you compoundly grow that, that money grows to crazy numbers. But let's not even do that math. If you can't handle 1,000 in the market, you won't be able to handle 10,000. And if you can't handle 10,000, you won't be able to have a six-figure account. And if you can't handle six figures, you can't even go to seven, because every money management route comes with a different idea and perspective. The more you size up, the more emotions, the more uncertainty comes in your mind, and now you're actually losing your mental health because of the dollars that are in the screen. So I recommend everybody saying one thing: start with what you're comfortably losing. But as a beginner trader, the idea should never be I want to turn this 1,000 into 10,000 in 7 days by making a lot of plays on XYZ things, buying GME, AMC, SOS, BlackBerry, Express. That's not the idea to think about it. A good trader always thinks, I'm going to put my money in a place where I have the most opportunity cost. I'll give you a good example. Today's March 16th. Most people in the markets are going to be looking, most beginner traders are coming back to the market saying, I'm going to watch Apple, I'm going to watch Tesla, I'm going to watch XYZ stocks. Those stocks were flat for the most part of the day. But it's all about doing your research and putting your money towards the place which actually is going to return. Name like Intel, it was breaking out of a hard level. And the stock, I've been doing my research for the whole time, for the longest time. It's not about me making 40% or 50% on Tesla. I don't care what Tesla does. I'm not an investor. I'm a trader, and I'm literally there to put my money to make money. Person loses, one makes. So I'm not attached to a name, neither am I attached to what they do. All I'm attached to is what can make me money, whether it's ticker XYZ or it's Tesla. And the same concept goes for beginner traders. Most of them come out thinking we want to trade one name, which actually has been moving for a while. And then they get so lost in the whole idea of it that they end up actually blowing money into it. So, for the most part, back to the question, and the precise answer would be I wouldn't recommend anybody starting with more than a couple thousand, maybe two, maybe the most three. And then you focus on making X% a week at the start because yes, a lot of us traders do also believe that it's not good to set targets in trading, but it's also good to understand that you want to set targets in a precise way. That hey, if I make 10% for the week already in the first 3 days, I'm probably going to size down a little bit and take a little slower for the rest of the week. Because it's not a place where you just want to make money and keep putting in your duffel bags. It's a place where you want to make money, pay yourself, invest in more things, and actually generate a living lifestyle out of it. And that's the whole idea for it.
That's super powerful, man. So like after 3 years, you're able to grow, account to multiple six figures and do well. I do want to ask you, if you don't mind sharing, what has been like your best month in trading?
So my best month in trading was last year, February, right before the COVID sell-off. And I had my best trade on Tesla. I still remember the stock was breaking right above 600. The stock moved about $130 that day, I believe. And a lot of my fellow traders and me, we all caught it. And at that time, I kind of at this point, the money management thing is so different for me that I don't even care about how much I have in my account. I care about how much I can go in with. And every trader who has been trading for a little while decides to actually keep multiple accounts, not just one. They have a swing trading account, they have a day trading account, and they will keep multiple long-term portfolios as well. So February was my best month. And out of that best month, that one day is actually what made the month best.
Wow. Okay, so man, that's these movements can happen very quickly in the stock market, which I think was what attracts a lot of people to this vehicle because I've seen from even for myself last year when I started like looking at the stock market, I caught a couple good like options trades and seeing like really good returns in one day. But then also when I started, I was also doing a little bit of hype stuff, so like I would have some great days and I have some days where I completely just like just I would have a game and then lose a game by not having any real strategy. Um,
And that's for the most part is the problem with everybody that they try so hard to just catch the hype every day. If you really look, trading is not about catching the hype or actually going in to make money every day. As a trader, you have to accept a lot of things. First thing you have to accept is you're not going to be green all year long, every Monday to Friday. You're gonna have red days, you're probably going to have even flat days a lot of times. And some days are going to be much more aggressively nicer than the other days. It's all about staying consistent. What I personally like, I look at it is I would rather make $200 a day consistently for the year than making 1,000 today and giving $1,200 back tomorrow, and then making another 2,000 the day after that and making giving back another 3,000 to the market. That's just you're gonna keep going back and forth with one idea of making money, giving money. If you can even make consistently $200 a day, that's even a big achievement in the market as a beginner trader, or even less than that. That's the number doesn't really matter. What matters is consistency.
No, that's a huge point. I'm so glad you brought that up because, like I said, for myself, I know a lot of people they see that what can happen in the stock market, and so I think most people want to put in their money and immediately go from taking this $1,000 and turning it to 10, and realizing like just like everything else, you have to walk or you have to crawl before you can walk, and walk before you can run. And
Yes.
so so many people just want to like take their money and go boom and and get rich overnight. And so I think you bring up a very valid point that is if you can make those smaller gains daily, you'll be better off in the long run.
Exactly. And simple as that, the one thing I ask every user-friendly platform trader, I don't want to take any brokerage name here, whatever XYZ names are, but the thing is, you can ask them all day long, why did you take the trade? And their answer is going to be somebody on Facebook posted it and it's a hype stock. Or their answer is going to be just because as companies going to the moon, we have diamond hands. That's something like you can't really, as a trader, you just laugh at them. I'm happy because it went up, you made money. This is something that's good. But something we say is follow your setups. Have 3 to 4 different strategies. And once you actually master those strategies, you will understand every chart moves in certain way. And once you understand what way it's going to move in, and then the strategy you can apply to it, it gets much more easier to actually avail the opportunity of making money on it than losing a lot of it.
Wow. So for those watching right now who are going, you know what, I definitely need to learn more about the stock market. Before we run out of time, I do want to talk about Stock Market Geeks. So you're the founder of that. You've been running that for how many months has it been out
Or
now for? I know it recently
it's
launched.
I started in August 2019, and it's been about more than year and a half almost.
Year and a
Almost.
half now.
Yeah.
And so you've helped, a lot more other people like, begin to get education in the stock market, understand it more, understand market movements and charts and graphs. So how can people get involved with that if they want to, start learning stock market? Tell us a little bit about that, the whole
So
program.
I want to break something down about Stock Market Geeks first of all. When I started Stock Market Geeks, I was doing in-person sessions. I was taking about 8 to 10 people, and the whole idea came because when a few of my friends were wanted to learn about trading, and I mentored them, and they started trading with me. I started seeing them doing good, and I started believing in myself that okay, because realistically, so many of us are good at telling what to do, but we ourselves can't do it, and that's really hard to prove in this industry where we live in. It's so hard to actually prove their execution in this. So same idea was that they got mentored. They took a little bit of help from me. They went on online resources. So they got themselves started, and they gave me an idea. Why don't you actually turn this into a business? At the same time, the business is the word, but the idea is to actually help people grow financially, which is actually the big and most, for the most part, the motive of Stock Market Geeks. I started that to just help out people to actually get themselves started in the industry that was, first of all, not too big at that time, or even if it was, then a lot of people were too sketchy about it. And third of all, that people could actually start understanding that there is more money just besides your 9 to 5 or your X amount of job or whatever you do. Money is there all 24 hours. You just got to sit down and make it. So if you have that mentality, you're going to go ahead and take the opportunity. So I was doing the in-person sessions, and down the road last year, December, we actually rebranded everything, and we went away from the sessions, from even online to the in-persons. And we said we won't be doing any in-person or online sessions. And I recorded my whole course along with a couple other courses we have on stock stock option trading for basic traders, for the beginners, market fundamentals, technical analysis, risk management, option selling strategy, options trading. So there's multiple different courses along with all the webinars we have ever done, all the videos we've ever recorded, all the content we have, risk management calculators. We put it into one perspective and we said we're just going to give it away to people with our group chat service. And I know like no one would ever do it and no one ever does it because most people charge thousands of dollars for courses or information which is related to trading. And if they can prove themselves, obviously, then they're very big on it. And that's a good thing. But for me, it was not about bringing the just quality people. It was about opening the doors to everyone. So anyone who is actually even not capable or capable of doing it should at least give it a try, because one way or the other they will, because of the hype stops. So why not actually learn it the right way and try it?
Wow, I love that. And one thing I'm huge about on this channel is about education, and finding mentors and not just trying to like do everything on your own. Learning the hard way. Like the best thing is to learn from mistakes, but they do not have to be yours. So I'm 100% for hey, if somebody has results that you want or already where you want to be, then follow after them. And so I can speak on for myself. Like I've been a part of the stock market geeks program, going through it and learning more and really trying to get a foundation understanding of the stock market and how trading works. Because like I said before, I would just be I would see something, see a friend post a stock, get in it. Sometimes it worked, but when you look at the end of the month, it's like okay, I had a great day and then I had a bad day, and it's just like it ends up sometimes just basically evening out or end up in the negative. Um, so now now my thing is trying to actually really understand what's going on versus just being about the hype movement. And so you also have in the group, I mean in the program, a live Discord chat, correct?
Right. So the program basically comes along with the Discord chat and the courses. So every sign up, every person who signs up for it, they get the course access along with all the past webinars, every content we have ever recorded, and the Discord service where we actually do the pre-market calls, our midday calls, our Q&A webinars every Thursday. The people who are watching the course, and if they would have a question about it, they can just literally ask us, and we will do a Q&A webinar every Thursday. Every Sunday, there's a webinar to actually plan the week ahead, which I do myself. Now, the whole point of the idea is it's not a place you can't copy me and paste it into yourself. I don't believe in that life, and I will never believe in it. Like I have a lot of respect for a lot of people who do that, but this is not a structured based area where we just allow people copy pasting. I'm here to actually educate and learn yourself. Because what if I die tomorrow? Who are you going to rely on?
Yeah.
What if I started making you $1,000 a week and I die tomorrow? I get into a car accident. Life is not guaranteed. How are you going to make that thousand again? You don't know how it works. So now you're literally going to go and find somebody else who might or might not work for you. So the idea here is not copy and paste. The idea here is learn and grow, and at the same time, keep growing and grow your skills with us. At the same time, bring more energy so we can learn how new traders actually think and what more content we can bring to the table.
Wow, I love that. And when you said that, it reminded me of like one of my favorite sayings is give a man a fish, feed him for a day, teach him how to fish, feed him for a lifetime. And that's basically like what you just said that you know
Yeah,
what's
it's a
going on
great
in the
thing.
program is teaching people how to fish. It's just like, you know, if you give somebody a dollar, those same people, they never get ahead life because they're going to keep needing a dollar, right? But if you teach them how to make the dollar, then they won't need you anymore. And so I love that's what you're doing in your program. So along with the being able to ask questions and the full course is lifetime access. So how much time should somebody, a new trader, kind of expect to spend time wise to learn the stock market and learn these concepts and learn how to trade?
So realistically, I've seen people literally like getting out of the courses or like learning, and not just mine, but even my fellow traders who do it. And I've seen them growing from basic dollar values to like 5 to 6 figures in a matter of months. Now it depends on person to person. Some people take trading way too seriously, and that's the problem with people. That the moment they start get themselves started into trading, they just start overthinking in their head that, oh, this is too complicated. Oh, I just made a bad trade. How do I fix this? And those things become a streak of actually losing momentum for them. For the most part, the most important part in trading is understanding that it's just not a straight curve ahead where you're just going to literally go up, 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 and up. It's not corporate America where you get started as a tech engineer on your company, and then you get promoted, and then you get promoted, and then you one day get a VC chair or manager, and now you're happy. That's not how trading works. This is not corporate America. This is a game where you actually learn yourself and you keep growing. So the way I put it down is every trader should get started by learning, first of all. Every trader should get proper education, whether it's 30 hours of videos or 50 hours or 100 hours or 20 hours. Get the proper education and ask as many questions as you can. After that, start a paper trading account. TD Ameritrade offers it for free. You can start a paper trading account and you can start practicing your strategies and kind of analyze the idea of actually if this is really going to work out. Now, we all do understand that with paper trading, no emotions are involved since there's no money in there. It's literally fake money. Now, the real emotions come in the first day when you fund your account with your real dollars you have hard earned. And that's when you're going to actually learn trading.
Yeah.
Every time every new trader starts, the first thing I tell them is understand what we have taught you. Do not oversize on your positions. Increase your size slowly. For example, you have $1,000 account. Don't use more than 10 to 15% of your account size. Now, even if you're using 15% of your account size, which is $150, don't look forward to make more than 10% in the beginning, Yes, follow your setup, but have tight stop losses, have realistic stop losses, have realistic risk management, all those ideas. Because one good trade can cover four bad, realistic risk manageable trades. But one bad trade, which you didn't actually apply risk management of, can wipe out your 100 good trades. And that's the most worst part about trading, that the moment your ego comes into the way and you start getting your head bigger and bigger and saying, no, this is going to happen just because I believe in it, market smacks you in the face. And you have to
100%.
understand that it's something you wouldn't
100%.
want to do.
So discipline and emotion control. I've definitely learned that you have to like remove your emotion from trading, or even like because I have a little bit of cryptocurrency and like that's very volatile. It could go up 20% a day and down 15% a day. If you're emotionally tied to that, you're going to be a freaking wreck.
And I also believe that options trading is pretty similar to cryptocurrency, because in the options trading world, we day trade and we look forward to make 40-50% on a play. That's if I put $10,000 in a play, I'm looking forward to make 3 to 4,000. And if I am scalping, there's four different types of trading. There is position trading, swing trading, day trading, and scalping. Position traders are mostly people who sit on their hands once they buy and they leave it for a year or so, or a couple more years, or whatever the case is. Swing traders are people who come in and out of the plays in a few days, could be overnight or maybe 5 days, 7 days, 10 days. Day traders are people who are heavily focused on actually like getting in and out in the same day. And scalpers are people who would even willingly, they will be willing to get out of it in a matter of seconds or minutes. Now, I've tried all four of them and I still do all four of them. The idea is each one comes with different parameters. And options trading is pretty similar to that. That's why we recommend everyone getting started is to understand stocks first, understand basic equities, shares. Don't focus on making $1 million. Focus on being so good at this art that you will kill it when you go to the next level. And once you know how to actually analyze, apply, and execute, your failure rate goes from a big number to a very small number with your proper risk management. And now you can consistently grow yourself. And I can give you so many prime examples of people who have taken a couple of years out of their social life, their life they were in, and they said we're heavily going to focus on this, and they have made out of it, and they're doing really good. So there's a lot of examples like that. It's just that who is willing to do it? That's the biggest question. And people who are not even willing to do it, it's a good way to even bring out X amount of residual dollars in your pocket. Someone who's already working in their career, making X amount of money, paying their bills, they don't need trading in their life to actually pay their bills. They need trading in their life to add extra value into it. So you don't need to make 10 grand out of trading to pay your bills. Now you need to decrease that goal maybe by 80% and say, I'm going to bring extra X amount just to add value in my life, just to have more luxury, more extra dollars. And that's how life works.
I love that. No, 100%, man. The what I've seen just from from my little bit of time, observing the stock market, it's a beautiful vehicle. Obviously, a lot of people can get hurt in it if you're irresponsible. But like the things you just talked about, those core principles, risk management, and that I think that's probably one of the key points is risk management, because so many people blow their accounts very quickly trying to go for that winning trade all the time, which is just not going to happen. You're not going to win 100% in life. So, the core comes down to those things in education. And like I said, so Stock Market Geeks is a great place to get started. And how much does the program cost?
So when we actually came to the group chat point, this was the biggest question we had. We're like, the course we charged $1,000 for, now we were going to give it away with the group chat membership. So a lot of people were like, how much are you going to put it for? And I was like, I'm going to put it for the dollar value, which you basically go out and pay to your barber, or maybe you go out and spend in a day with a dinner of two. So we kept the monthly membership at only $50 a month,
Wow.
which gives out the whole course, which gives out the Discord access, morning calls, midday calls, webinars. Everything is included in that number. And as of now, we're also given a 5 day free trial. So it's a free trial, so it doesn't hurt anyone to even try it. So it's whoever is actually there to interested in getting started, they will see the value themselves once they walk into it. It's just that they have to take the time out of their lives to register themselves for it.
That's amazing, man. The amount of value you guys are giving away for that price. When I first seen the price, I was like super taken back. I was like, wow, $49 a month. Cause like, or 50 out. Cause I'm used to paying, like I've joined different courses and programs, and I really believe in investing in myself. So I spent thousands of dollars in certain programs. Some are good, some are okay, but but for $49 a month, I mean, you literally can't lose with that, plus a free trial. But guys, at the time of this video, a lot of you guys watching this are going to be getting, stimulus checks and extra income. And for those who already have their responsibilities taken care of, and you're thinking to yourself, how can I take this money and, and turn it into something more and not just blow it on whatever the next, cool thing is, or a piece of junk or a vacation. This is a prime time to invest in your education. And it doesn't mean you have to take the $1,400 and invest in the stock market. You can take $50 of it, get enrolled and start learning. And then you at least have a foundation. You can start paper trading. And then once you feel comfortable with that, you can actually start investing some real money. But I think, to me, that's one of the best things you can do is create multiple income streams for yourself. Learn how to make money more than one way, especially in this vehicle. I mean, I think people who get good at this, I've personally had certain days to where I made more money within like the first, because a lot of times I'll stop looking at the stock market after the first couple of hours. Like opens at 9:30. Normally, like I'll do a trade and be done by like 11. So right. Even before my day starts, I make a little bit of money, sometimes more than what I'm going to make from my actual main career. And that's just the possibilities you can do. So you grow slowly, steady. And like I said, I'm a part of the program. I've been learning a lot and continue to go through and learn. I'm super excited for this journey the rest of the year. And so I'm really going to encourage you guys to, to get started, at least take advantage of the free trial. Izhan, he's a smart dude. He's shown his results. At 21 years old, is killing it. So if you guys, if that doesn't inspire you, like I really don't know what will.
I appreciate that, bro.
So where can they find you at? Social media?
So on social media, if you're gonna put a thumbnail or something, my ad is KHAWAJAIZHAN. And they can also do at Stock Market Geeks, at the Stock Market Geeks. And our website, I'm sure you're gonna put it in the description. You could as well, but it's www.thestockmarketgeeks.com. And I mean, I would love to get any DMs, any questions, anyone who is trying to get started. If there's any questions they have, you can directly DM me. And I love replying to people and talk about trading. The whole idea is that it's not about us. Most traders, to be honest, do make more money trading than actually running any of their businesses, and their opportunity cost is really not there. But it's just a need and want type of situation in the market where we have to provide. I would rather not see somebody else dumping their X amount of dollars into GME for the next time and sell it back at the lows and think they fought the hedge funds while it actually got smacked by the market. I don't want to see anybody doing that. Hey, you make money, I love you. I make money, I want you to love me. Simple as that.
Yeah. All right, guys. So don't follow the hype. Stay away from stay away from Reddit chats. That is not where you should get your investment advice.
Very wisely, rather than just like putting it in and blowing it up. Invest a little bit in your education, whether it's even free education online, free platforms. But before you do something, you do want to know the A and B of it. If you don't know the A and B and you're jumping to Z, higher probabilities are that you're going to fail, and you're going to feel bad, and you're going to feel bad.
Was it Warren Buffett who said he never invests in things he doesn't understand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
so,
that's very true.
So there you go, guys. You can follow Izhan on social media. All the links will be in the description. His social media will be there, as well as the link to stockmarketgeeks.com. Once again, guys, I encourage you to invest in yourselves, invest in your education, and start learning these other vehicles that can help you grow your income exponentially, and like outside of a vehicle that's attached to time too. Because most people, go spend X amount of hours at your job to get a certain pay, when the stock market really isn't necessarily attached to time. If you understand.
Neither place too.
What was that?
Neither place, time or place.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Also, yeah, you can do it from anywhere, pretty much anywhere in the world. If you have a laptop or a cell phone, you can trade. So yeah, guys, I appreciate you guys tuning in for this video. Once again, big shout out to Izhan for coming on here today and sharing some knowledge with us. And hopefully one day I'll get a ride in the i8 that he owns.
You can have it tonight if you wanted.
Awesome, man.
I really appreciate you having me on here, and I hope this helps at least of some people like just clear their head about the trading industry and actually what the industry consists of. It's not what it seems like. It's not a scheme to become rich really fast. It actually takes time to grow in it. But once you actually understand the idea, you just fall in love with it like you fall in love with gym. It's the same thing.
There you guys go. There you have it, guys. This is now is the best time. They say last time to plant a tree, the best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago, and the next best time is now. Don't wait. Now is the time to invest, get started, and have a great year. Guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time on the Zay Wonder Journal. Peace out.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.